everyone. This is Don Smith, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Beyond the Lens. Well, it's no secret, Photoshop 2024 is now out. It's out with generative AI. I know many of you have been playing along with the beta version of 2024 for quite a while now, including myself. So we've kind of got a handle on this, and but it's here, and it's here to stay. And I've done videos in the past on my thoughts on AI, and is it going to be good for the world of photography? Is it not? You can go back and watch some of my videos. I'll leave the links down below in the show notes. And but I am gonna, my thought or my take on this AI stuff, it's not going to stop. It's just going to keep getting more pervasive, better. We're all creatives, let's face it. We like playing around. And as I said in the past, and I'll hold to this probably forever, I'll never say never, right? But if you're going to fake a picture with AI, if you're going to add elements to the scene that weren't originally there, if you're going to create an entire image out of AI, and then you're going to post it, and you're going to say, boy, this is exactly what I saw when I went out to shoot sunset last night, or I shot that full moon rising last night. That's where I have issues. For years, we could lie with the written word, and it's no different with photography. We have the ability now to fake our images. We've had the ability for quite a while to fake our skies. So that's up to each and every one of you where you want to draw the line on that. Where I make a living at it doing this, I probably have a little tighter guidelines as to how I feel about it, but you may not agree with me. So having said that, AI is here to stay, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to start to adapt to the world of AI and generative AI in this video. And right off the get-go, I want to show you some stuff. Hey, before we get going, I do teach a lot of cool workshops, and we do it all over the world and here in the United States. And we'd love to have you join us. The links are up here. Just go to my website, www.donsmithphotography.com. Click on the workshop links on the left side of the homepage, and you can see our offerings. We're getting pretty filled up, but we'd still love to have you join us. We have a spot open here and there in various workshops. Also, you can email us at any time, don@donsmithphotography.com. That's also up on your screen. And I'll leave that in the show notes, the links down below. And either myself or my wife, Barry, who works with me in the business, will get back to you. Okay, let's take a look today at the world of generative AI and my first practical idea on how I'm going to use it. All right, so I've got 3 images up on my screen, and we're going to go through each one. And the first thing you're going to notice is, hey, Don, where's the generative AI box? Well, if this is happening to you, just come up here, under, oh, I'm sorry, I've got the wrong list up. There we go. Come down to right here, contextual taskbar, and you're going to see it right here. Now, you can take this and move it anywhere on the screen you want. Maybe for this one, I'll leave it here. These 3 ellipsis dots, I go here and I just click on pin bar position, and then I'm able to move it around and have it stay put for me. Okay, let's take a look at this image of a rising moon that I captured back in my old home back in 2019 in San Benito County, California. And what I would like to do is I would like to add we're going to start out kind of easy here. I just want to add a little bit more to the crop down here. So I'm going to show you the way I used to deal with this. I'm going to come up here, type C, or hit this little icon for crop. And you're going to see I'm usually up here in the ratio mode, but you can see in my little generative AI box, or expand box, it's ratio also. So it's basically doing the same thing, and it's put the crop bounding bar around it. So what I want to do is I want to just tug down a little and add a little bit of these trees to the scene to see if I can kind of balance it out, give it a little more room. And I'm just going to go here. Now, here's where normally you would put in your prompts. I've done other videos. In fact, I've done a video showing where I've created an image from scratch. But I don't want to, when I'm expanding my crop bar, I don't want to put anything in there. So I'm just going to click on generate, and we're going to do this in real time. I've got fairly fast internet here. This will usually take about 15, 20 minutes or so, depending on the complexity. It's actually going up into the cloud to Firefly and coming back with what it thinks should be filled in. And I should get 3 different versions. And I do over here, for some reason, they're not showing up, but I'm going to click. I think when I click, you can see that the first one added really is kind of cool. I mean, I could go for that and be happy. Here's the second one, and oh boy, you can see here, let me get my zoom tool out where it's really kind of getting mushy down in here. Okay, and let's jump over to the third one. That's not bad, but again, with the zoom tool, you can see right in here. And part of the problem, I think, as many of you know, this is pretty much brand new to Photoshop. So where this photo is very high resolution, what's coming in with the generative AI is 1024p. And as of right now, we have to live with that. I'm going to click back to the first one because I think I like that the best. I'm certain that as we go along, Photoshop or Adobe is going to improve upon the resolution. They would have to. If I wanted to make a print out of this, it would certainly fall apart. But I think, you know, for putting the images out on the web, it's certainly going to work. And that's probably really the only practical place that I would use this for right now, putting it out on the edge. Or excuse me, putting it out on the web. I was looking at the edge as I was clicking. So we'll see what Adobe does. I am going to take this little box and I'm going to put it up here out of the way for now. And we're going to go on to image number 2. And I'm going to actually shrink this down just a hair because I need a little more room for what I want to do. I'm going to come up here and grab the crop bar. This is Multnomah Falls in Oregon, the Columbia River Gorge of Oregon. It's actually 2 falls. It comes down here and then it hits like a big pool of water and then drops down over into the lower fall. But all of it is together collectively is Multnomah Fall. So what I want to do is I want to add a little bit to the bottom here. So I'm going to drag down and I like to add a little bit more up here to the top. Okay, maybe I'll add just a little bit more down in here. And let's click. Now, I've made this mistake and I want to point this out. Don't click the check mark because that's just going to accept the crop. We want to come over and make sure this is up and click on generate, no prompts. And again, we're going to go through real time here, which is pretty fast. And let's see what the 3 selections are that it gives me on expanding the falls and if it works. The cool thing about this, if you don't like the 3 selections, you can always hit generate again. Wow, right out of the box. I think that is pretty awesome. Look at that. I'm going to click off. I'm going to click on. It even kind of got the sides in here, the tree up in here. Let's click that off and on again. That's amazing. I'm going to go to number 2. Okay, it builds a little bit more in here. Certainly nothing wrong with it. Let's go over to number 3. Nothing really wrong with that either. I kind of like number 1 because it doesn't put that extra part in there that the second and third one does. See how that builds in? This one actually curves to the right a little. See how that starts to curve back in? So I think my choice would be the first one. Now, let's say, hey, Don, you know, that water now is getting pretty close to the edge there. Well, let's just simply put that up and see if it'll allow to build more of the foliage in and not the water. I can't guarantee this is going to happen. I didn't even do this when I was practicing this. So let's see what happens. We're doing this live on the fly with you guys here. Let's see if it'll figure that out. And oh boy, it did, didn't it? Look at that. That's just amazing to me. Let's see what number 2 did. I think that might have done an even better job. And number 3, not too bad. Not too bad at all. I really could go with any one of these 3. I kind of like that one the best. That's pretty cool. So let's turn these off. Okay. And let's build in top to bottom. And let's build in the left side. Isn't this stuff cool? Again, once it gets to the point where this is the resolution comes up from 1024p to close to actual resolution of the photo, and you can go to print, it's going to really be something. And oh, by the way, I used to do this with a content-aware fill. Maybe I'll do it on the last one here. Okay, this is a sunset shoot from Horseshoe Bend out near Page, Arizona. And my vertical crop actually took off both sides of the river down here, the Colorado River that makes this famous bend. And so before we get going with this one, let's come up here, and I want to take Generative Expand to Content Aware Fill. And I'm going to click here and see what Content Aware Fill will build in for me, or if it will even build it in for me. Oh, gosh, yes, it did. Isn't that a lovely job? So from that to that, that's what Content Aware would do on that image. So now let's come over here to Generative Expand. And I got to go back in and put in my canvas, don't I, where I want to expand it to. And I'm going to expand it out quite a bit. The cool thing is, we want to make sure we give it enough where we're telling the software we want that river bank to complete. And let's go ahead and hit generate. See what it gives us. It's kind of exciting. Reminds me of the old days of in the darkroom and waiting for your print to come up in the developer tray. I miss those days. That's a little, oh wow. That is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's completed the river on both sides. Let's turn this off. I've been out to Horseshoe Bend countless times. I used to run workshops out there for years. And I got to tell you, this is phenomenal. I'm going to go to the second version of it. That cleans up. What does it clean up over here? It gets kind of that rock, right? Yeah, it just makes it a little cleaner around the edges. I would have to pull out some old images of mine and see what a completed view in a horizontal format actually looked like. Let's go to version number 3. And it actually added in some of the green foliage down in here. I don't know which one I would go with there. Probably that one. I actually do like that little bit of a rock there. If I don't, I could just simply take it out with Content Aware Fill. You can see the foliage is darker, which matches the foliage down on this side of the river. I'm going to come over to number 3 again and see how it just lightened up. It kind of started matching that foliage over there, which I think is very interesting. Nothing wrong with it. It's just the way it is. So there you go. There's 3 great examples of how I plan to use Generative AI Fill to kind of expand my canvas. I've always done this with Content Aware, as I showed you. It's just so far superior to Content Aware, as you could see, that I believe I'm going to be doing it this way from now on. Hey, I would love to hear all of your comments. I just sort of throw the topic out there and get the ball rolling. I would really, really love to hear your comments on all of this. I've seen some people already posting to my workshop alumni page which is for my alumni in my workshops, and they're starting to create images. Again, I think if I'm using this, I would like to put that this was created in software. But to expand the edges, I'd have to think about that a little bit more as I'm doing here, because, realistically, I'm looking at my image here. It looks pretty close to what I'm seeing out there if I was to have shot with a wider format camera. Like this might be a 4x5 version camera, right? So all of you are going to have to come up with how you're going to handle this and feel good moving on. I certainly just don't like the blatant lies that are going on out there in the on the social media realm. People are just well, I won't get into it. I got into that in another video. I just don't appreciate it. So great stuff coming down the line, you guys. It's just going to keep getting better, better, better. Adobe, please come out with another version where you've given us a higher resolution here, that we can actually start taking these pictures and putting them out to print, and they're not going to look, kind of mushy. But for now, man, first great move. First great move. Okay, that's about wrapping it up, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Beyond the Lens. We're going to come after you every Friday, hopefully, if I can keep at it, and keep bringing up a lot of new content. I do plan on starting to have guests on this show, talk about various topics. And until next time, hey, this is Don Smith. Get out with your camera. Keep creating. It's great for your soul. Till next time, we'll see you later.